someone like Dave, which is why I will give him the credit of, I'm glad that he used his not only power but his influence and his genius to be like, you know what, I have to make it better for everyone. However, I hope, which I don't think he does because he's not that type of person. I hope he doesn't take credit for being like someone who changed cancel culture or who ended it, because there's been a whole bunch of people who've been talking this way for a while.
No, what he's doing is that it's his own viewpoint. It's not like he's copying anybody.
Right. I know that.
So it's like it's true to him. What I think's gonna happen is, yeah, he'll be the one that gets the credit for it, but it's because because this guy's so cool and he's like putting it this way, all these other people that don't really have original thoughts. Mm-hmm. They're just going to repeat what he says. Like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to just go with that and, keep repeating the same things he said and never expand on it. Never fucking try to grow from what, the seeds that, Dave planted in you. So he'll do that and, there'll be, a whole, backlash on cancel culture now. And it'll start, this movement and it'll get, a little better. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't expect there to be since this came out this week, next week it's oh fuck you soft motherfuckers, we out here, whatever. That's not gonna happen.
Also, even right now, cancel culture is not really a thing, and we've discussed this on the podcast before. It's not really a thing because you're canceled for a week or two,
right?
And then when everyone decides there's some other issue, you're fine to come back,
right? Well, but that's why. Yeah, like I said, we had his thoughts a while ago, right? About cancel culture and everything like that. And we've been pretty much, in my opinion, we've been one of the very few podcasts who've been still riding the ship, and we've been as fucking honest and as open as humanly possible. And we don't really give a fuck, because it's if y'all are offended by conversation and personal opinions, first of all, you chose to listen to us. We didn't tell you. We didn't tell you.
Remember, you clicked on our face.
Hey, yes. We didn't tell you to listen to us. You chose to listen, and that's on you. Second of all, I've never been a person, for example, I don't darn it, what's his name? Shit.
What's his name?
I'm trying to think of
comedian?
No, I was gonna say a musician, but I can't think of his fucking name. Whatever, right? But if I don't like a certain rapper, right, I'm not gonna go listen to his album and then tweet about how much I hate him and his album.
Right, you're just
not gonna listen.
The best thing to do is not buy the album at all. Listen to him, not give him any kind of monetary gain.
I don't care.
Don't give it no publicity.
Right. I don't like your music, so I'm just not gonna listen to it, right? And we're in this weird space now that we've talked about before, where it's for some reason everyone feels like that their opinion matters,
right?
And it's even which is why me and Mark have a lot of fun with these hot takes, even though you guys' answers suck, but whatever. I'm just saying, a lot of the answers are trash, right?
I would never do that.
But we have so much fun is because anytime me and Mark decide to confront something in that someone says or something, they instantly backtrack without even us giving an argument yet. It's Mark will say well, why do you think this? And then they'll be like, well, in my opinion, you just lost this whatever.
Yeah, or it'll be well, actually, it was just my fiance or whoever wrote it, and I'm just okay. It seemed pretty strong. The opinion seemed pretty strong in the beginning.
Right, today there was once you guys hear this, today's hot take was on the whole masturbation question. If you walked in, your significant other is masturbating. Ties into the
Louis C.K. thing. See, that was planned. That was totally
off the top of the dome. Mark through the alley.
Freestyle.
I fucking dunked that shit and missed.
God damn it, always missing your dunks, dude.
All rim, just bang and bounced out.
My arm hanging there and just
ball
crying. Please help me.
They dunked it on the other end, actually.
Please, someone get the ladder.
My arm is stuck. Hyperextended, please. It was... I said in the hot take, I was my girl doesn't masturbate, right? And... no one paid any. I guess I thought no one's gonna pay any attention to it because one, it's the truth, and B, it's it's a throwaway statement, whatever, right? But there was a couple people who were like, "Oh, Dwayne, that's not true. Your girl's lying and everything like that." So I was okay, one, I find it weird. How you gonna tell me that my girl's lying to me when you don't know either of us? But whatever. But the thing that I was just like, well, what interests me the most, I was literally like, okay, do you not believe me because I'm saying it? If it was flipped and she was sitting here and she said it, would you believe it? Right? So I wanted to get to that point with one of the people who said it. So I just questioned them, like, why do you think this isn't true? And her response instantly off the top was like, well, it was just about that first sentence. And in my opinion, she went down this whole list of things or whatever. And I'm like,
Was it like unrelated to what?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just like, I just wanted to know why. And like, I responded with like, right, but the first sentence is about me. So that's saying that, you know, I'm lying or my girl's lying to me. So why do you believe this is true?
Right.
Which is the original statement, right? But it's like they run from it, right? And it's like, it's not, I'm not attacking you. I'm not saying like you know, give me a fucking answer. Tell me, like, I don't care.
What would be the ideal response from that question? Like, you wish this person would have said this.
Oh, like the ideal response would be either there's two. Either A, I believe this because I'm a woman in blah 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 blah, which I'm like, okay, I can't argue
Can you
that.
spell blase blah for us? BLAZAH blah, bitch.
Blase blah. But it'd either be that one or B, it would be like you use your own personal experience, which is like, oh, I said that to whatever, and then I can be like, okay, well, that's a you thing. That's not everyone, right? But to not give any sort of answer and just kind of say like, oh, you know, it's because of these like random things.
Yeah, and understand people, like, we're not trying to attack you. Like, we're genuinely genuinely asking.
Genuinely asking you the question, alright? Just answer it, bitch. Answer it.
Like, just to like see where your thought process is, and like,
Right.
and if like we're, because you know everything's recorded there. You know,
Right.
I could like look back and then like, you know, quote you.
Right.
And because I've done that before, like where I've like quoted people and they're like, "You don't put words in my mouth." I'm like, I'm not. I'm literally like,
You said that.
you were up there.
Right there. Just,
and they get all mad and shit. I'm just like,
you can also scroll back and see what you
yeah.
said.
I'm like,
You said it right there.
okay.
Like, but so things like that, and I feel like there's been people like I said, like me and Mark. Definitely, I feel like some credit goes to someone who is lesser known but is getting very big right now. Andrew Schultz. He's been on this wave of like, I'm not gonna change my comedy. I'm gonna keep this shit as disrespectful and as flagrant as possible because this is what comedy is, and you gonna take it and you gonna fucking like it. If you don't like it, don't listen to me. Period. Right? He's been pushing this shit for a while. There's been multiple other people who haven't changed, and it's like, you know what? And they've had these thoughts about things like cancel culture and things about society, and they're willing to be able to put their career and balls on the line and be like, you know what? They'll still talk about gay people and trans people and whoever, or black, white things and everything like that, men, women, and not have any fear, because I feel like the thing that cancel culture like misses the boat on completely is if you police yourself from all these things. To me, it's honestly because you are what you're fearing with all those things.
Can you rephrase that more simply?
Basically, you're choosing to cancel something that you are, but you're highlighting everyone else to get the heat off of you.
Oh, okay, I get you.
So it's like,
classic congressman anti-gay thing,
right?
Okay.
But I'm gay, or like
Yeah.
freaking, you shouldn't talk this way about gay people and everything like that, and blah 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 blah.
As soon as the mics are off, it's like this.
Yeah, like
that.
all that stuff, right? And it's like they have these opinions. Same thing when people could talk about like, oh, you should respect black people. They're not blah blah blah, but they'll be the first one to call somebody a nigga. Like, and it's like hard R. And it's things where I'm like, because honestly, a lot of the ideas and stuff that we have, they don't come from a place of like evilness or some sort of like, oh no, like. But it's so funny because we've had podcasts where we talk about women. But then the comments we get on them is like, you guys are assholes. You're so misogynistic, and I can't believe. And it's like, no part of what we said was that at all. But you took it that way. So if you took it that way, why do you see the world as that? Maybe it's because you are the one who's being what you're calling us, but you
Right.
just don't want to come to grips with it.
Yeah, and when your mindset's so set in like this is what they're gonna say, this is what they mean.
Right.
If your mind's already set that way, then ain't nothing gonna change it. Like
At all.
all you really want to do is complain.
Right.
If you're not willing to be open and listen to what they're actually saying and maybe suspend what your beliefs are just for that conversation, just to be like, okay, I'm coming into this conversation.
I'm coming into this.
I'm coming
into this.
God damn it. I'll start calling pussies conversations.
Ooh, you like this? Ooh, this conversation so tight, girl. It's a tight ass conversation. Ooh,
We should talk more.
ooh, we gotta talk.
Talk
more,
all
girl.
night.
Ooh,
You come in this conversation with like your own prejudice. You're already like, nope. Then it's like, what's the point? Just like,
Right.
just go, step on your soapbox and fucking tweet your opinions out there with no fucking backing of just with the hashtag I'm right and no one can tell me different.
that's if you remember, like one of the first podcasts we did, we did it with your sister. Shout out to Adelpha. But on there, we were talking about the LGBTQ community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said on the podcast, I was like, why can't they take a joke? I'm like, if we all can take, if black people get made fun of, white people get made fun of, how come they can't get made fun of? Everything like that. I remember at the end of the show, your sister was like, I can't wait to see the comments because she thought I was gonna get flamed for what I was saying, right? And fast forward to today.
I mean, it was a good guess,
Right.
Because of what happened,
Right? Because like,
I would say if we were bigger, then definitely.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Right?
you know what I mean?
But I'm saying like it was funny to me because I'm like fast forward to today. Now everyone's pretty much thinking like what I was saying back then, which is like, again, how if you want equality, you can't say I want to be just like y'all, but not be like y'all. That doesn't work that way. It's like if we all get shitted on, you gotta get shitted on too. It's just life. You can't choose to put yourself above certain. Like either get in the game
Yeah.
and play, or sit your ass on the bench and and wait your turn. But you can't be like, no, I want to play this position at this time, and you
Yeah.
only pass me the ball when it's this play, and it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. It's like play the whole game. Play the whole game, period, right? And it's like
To put it in simple terms, like let's say there's like a group of friends and everyone's constantly just making fun of each other, but then there's this one friend that anytime he gets made fun of, he gets super upset and it just makes it like everyone has to be all quiet and it gets all awkward in the circle.
right.
How many times do you think that person could do that to like before it's just like, well, fuck you, like get the fuck out of here then. You don't want to be like us, you don't want to like joke around with us, then peace out.
But
Be on your own.
See, like back then, yeah, that wasn't accepted. But now it's like we have to accept it and be like, well, I feel like because you guys are projecting these things you don't understand and blah blah
Right.
blah, and I've gone through this and that.
See, with that explanation, I get it. Maybe the first or the second time you get made fun of, you're like, oh, I'm feeling this way because of the jokes and blah blah blah. I get it, but after it's explained to you that like, no, we're not like really like we're not hating on you. We're just joking around like we would with anyone.
Right.
And you still, because at that point you're deciding to get upset. Like the
Right.
truth was told to you.
That's
And,
what I was about to say.
The truth was told to you of like, nah, man, you're like, we understand these jokes now because you've become part of the culture.
Right.
We have friends that are this or that,
Right.
So it's like we get like it's funny to us now. Like it's not coming from a mean place at all. Like
Right.
a place of hate.
And
After that gets explained to you and you still get upset, it's just like, well, like leave, man. Just do your own thing then.
that's what I was gonna say when you were saying, like what would happen, and I was like, the thing about it, if you take what like we say or what I say as like with bad intentions or malice, at that point that's on you. I can't change your mind because you think of me as someone that who would do that, and like this kind of made me think about growing up. I always felt like, I still feel like today, right? I still feel like that when it comes to like people meeting us, or like if I'm with you or Jay or whoever, right? I'm always gonna be looked at as the bad guy.
AKA the black one.
Whatever, right? And it's funny because like I've had so many instances of like moments where there was like a moment in high school where this kid he was Jay and Chris's friend, and they were like messing with him. I was even messing with the kid, right? Jay and Chris were like throwing shit on his backpack and everything like that. And I was just like with them, and I was just like sitting there laughing because we were all in we were all in photo class, right? Mm-hmm. I was sitting there just laughing because I'm like, oh, this fucked up and everything like that, right? So fast forward, the next day, the Jay comes to me and he's laughing. I'm like, what's up? What happened? And then Jay's like, you remember that kid that we were messing with? That's like our friend. And I was like, yeah. And then Jay was like, well, he said some things about you. And I was like, oh, what did he say? Right? And then Jay's like, well, he was like, he was gonna fuck you up because like he felt like you were laughing and like he would stab you and everything like that. So like of course I stopped and I paused and I was like, wait, what? Like, where is he at? Like, and then
Yo, show me the knife.
Like Jay was like, oh no, like, you know, like he's like, you know, he's a bitch and everything like that. I was like, no, that's not the point. It's not the point.
Yeah.
I told Jay, I was like, the point is one. I was like, you two motherfuckers was the one that was doing shit. Why did he come to me with the static? I'm like, two, now because you said these, bitch, you better stand on your words now. That's how I go by things. I don't go by things by like, oh, I said it, but you know, I was angry. No, stand on your words now, right? So the next day, I came to school bright and early because Jay and Chris will always show up early, right?
Right.
Came to school bright and early, met them niggas, and I was like, where is he at? All right, and they're like, oh, we're about to, you know, they start walking over to where he's at or whatever. Walked over to him, stood right next to that nigga for the whole session, just looking at him and everything like that, joking on him, like joking
Let me
with
guess,
Chris.
he was like just laser focused in the front.
No, not even that. He was all like, oh, like laughing and shit and everything like that, and thought it was cool and thought it was funny. And then I kept making like little references to it and everything like that with Jay and shit. And Jay would just kind of do like a little laugh and like look down. And then afterwards, I was just like, see my point, man? Niggas pussy. I'm like, niggas do all this shit and they talk all this shit thinking that shit just isn't gonna happen. Like,
I can fucking verify that shit happened to you a lot. Cause like growing up, we have like, and still to this day, like we've always had like different groups of friends, without each other, cause we went to different high schools, whatever.
Right.
One day for my birthday, like of course Dwayne was there, and like people from the other group of friends were there, and Dwayne is like all of us we don't like we do this thing where like we don't instantly jump into like the new friend group that you just got introduced to and like just start joking around and blah blah. It's like no, you kind of feel it out. You kind of maybe say one or two jokes and like you get the feel for how the crowd is.
Right.
So that's what Dwayne does. Like he's quiet, a little quiet, but he's talking. He's not like being stand up, just like don't fucking talk to me, all that shit. He's just there.
Right.
You know. But of course, people do what they do. Like they click up with the people they know. Blah blah blah. They start talking all this shit to me about him, which is like very dumb, very dumb. Because I'm like, what do you expect? Like, do you think? Oh, you think that I like you more? Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And they start talking all this shit. I'm like, I just listen. I don't say nothing, but I just listen. I'm like, fuck. Because it tells like when you just listen to people, it just tells you about their character. Anyways, it's funny because then I start telling him about this stuff, and then we break it down how like because we know the reality, we know the truth.
Right.
Dwayne is the nicest person within our friend group. He will actually be your friend. I'm pretty sure we said this in the podcast. He will actually be your friend. He will consider you a friend if he thinks you're cool and like you're just a genuinely cool person.
Right.
I will not. I will act the way you think a friend should act. Of like, oh yeah, tight man, jokes here, there, simple, blah blah blah. As soon as I fucking walk away, I most of the time I'm like, fuck that guy. That guy's annoying as shit.
Yep, he does all the time.
And I was just like, I don't want to talk to him anymore. Like I don't get the phone number. I don't get like, well, let's hang out. This like like a couple weeks later, whatever, all that shit. I don't do any of that. It's just like I only see you when we bump into each other at these things. We just happen to be at the same place,
right?
Or whatever thing like that. I just don't like people. I don't know why. I just don't. And I don't consider these people like instant friends just because we joked around one night and blah blah blah. I just don't. Right. My friend threshold is like a lot. It's on a higher level,
Right.
for me personally. But it's just funny because but then when people see us, they see the opposite. Like, oh, Mark's a funny dude. Mark's a great guy. Blah blah blah. Dwayne's an asshole, man. What's his problem?
Instantly. And
shit.
and I'll do nothing. I'll literally
he'll literally do nothing.
Like, we'll do the same shit, and then I'll be looked at as the asshole, and Mark's looked at as like, oh, Mark's great and everything like that, which is fine. I don't care, but I'm always like,
which
what
was very
the fuck?
which was like, remember, it was super confusing to you and Jay the first time I introduced it to my friends.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because like when we met his high school friends, they all like swore by Mark, that Mark was like this fucking like just I don't even know how to explain it, like this like larger than life figure and like whatever. And I'm like, it's Mark. Like, what? Like, and it's like, and it was just like, oh, Mark's so cool, Mark's whatever. I'm like, wait, do we know the same person? Because it's Mark. I'm not saying that he's not cool, but you guys are like, it's like the way, for people listening to us, the way you guys think of Manny is how people thought of Mark.
Yeah, Manny got it from me.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the whole point of this whole podcast. Manny got it from Mark.
He stole
the swag from Mark. Like, but no, like the way people look at Manny today is how people would look at Mark in high school and shit. And I'd be so confused because I'd be like, I'm so dumb. I'm like, because I'll ask him, like, what did you do? Like, did you do some crazy shit? And they'll be like, no.
I don't know.
Same shit, right? And I'm like,
to this fucking day, I don't know.
I'm like, what the fuck, right? So me and Jay would be like, damn. I'm like, maybe Mark is this fucking like amazing dude outside of whatever. But then we'd be around him. It's like, he does the same shit. It's like, it's still the same dude. I don't get it, right? So then fast forward, when I knew this was like, okay, this is really like a people thing. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Was one day, I would think we were all at Jay's house, right? This is around when like the fucking Nintendo Wii came out, right? So we were at Jay's house, and Jay's family was there, and a couple cousins were there that we had. We knew a couple of Jay's cousins, but there was a couple that we had just either met that night or like met that week or whatever, right? But they're all over and they're playing Wii. And me, you, and Jay are like just laying in with all the jokes on these niggas, right? We're just getting in this shit because it's all funny. Everyone's saying jokes and shit and everything cool, right? I distinctly remember after that shit, like maybe a couple days later, I come back to Jay's house and then we're all sitting there. And then he's like, man. And I'm like, what's up? And then he's like, man, one of my cousins does not like you. And I was like, I'm like, what? Like, and then I'm like, wait, do they know who I am? Like, in this family? Like I'm here. Like,
they know I'm a staple.
Yeah, there's no like, oh, your friend. No, I'm here. Like, I'm first name basis in this bitch. Like,
yeah, I walk in the door
without knocking in this bitch. Like, and then he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna say the person's name. But he was like, yeah, they just didn't like you because they felt like you're like talking shit. And I was like, my jokes were talking. You were saying worse stuff than me. Yeah. Like, and Mark was saying shit too, and they were just like, I don't know, man. I told him,
it's always been like that with you, and it's so fucking confusing to the rest of us because it was just like, like what?
And now, like, for people when they meet me now and everything like that, they always say like, oh man, when I first met you, I thought you were like mean because like your face and everything like that. That's why I always use the whole thing like, no, the world made me this way, because I would go into stuff trying to be as nice as possible, and then people will still have a like this fucking bad opinion on me, right? Yeah. So now I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna bring the energy to you now, like, and everything. So then, now, mind you, when I say that, I won't be a dick. I won't be like, you say, hey, what's up? I'm like, nigga, fuck you, get out my face. I'm not gonna do that, right?
I'm gonna shake your hand.
And like, the fuck, no. But I'm gonna, like, what I'm gonna do is basically what Mark said. I'm gonna be like, oh, what's up? I'm gonna kind of observe you and everything like that. If I feel like you're cool, now I'll engage more and we'll be fine. But I'm not gonna be all like Mr. like, hey, what's up? Come over. Like,
Dwayne does this thing where I think it's called like the teddy bear effect, where it's he has a very neutral face. Like there's no emotion, like not really emotion. He's really just listening, just like okay. Yeah. And the whole teddy bear effect is like they make teddy bears with neutral faces so that when kids play with them, they can project whatever emotion they want onto the bear.
Damn, that's dope.
Yeah.
I like this. Keep going.
So I think what they do with you is just because they already have an opinion. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I think it's because you're black, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
It's all race thing. Like already there, they have this opinion on you and like what you are because of your skin, because of the way you're dressed,
right,
and shit like that. So they already have the opinion. Again, it's just like the people that are not willing to listen.
Exactly.
They already have this opinion. It doesn't matter what you do. You could be the nicest motherfucker like you've done before. They're still gonna be like, well, fuck that guy. Well, it shouldn't. You could be doing the exact same thing everyone else is doing on a lesser, like way lesser extent than everybody else, but you'll still be seen as the top bad guy on the whole thing. And it's the teddy bear effect. I think it's just them. It's just them projecting their own, like, whatever they already believe onto you already. And you're just taking that shit.
It is what it is. But I will just like to wrap this portion of the podcast up by saying, like, yeah, he did tell me all the shit you guys said. Yeah. Also, my girl told me all the shit y'all said.
Yep.
Off top, any one of you niggas, I will beat your ass.
It's true. I've seen it.
Any one of you niggas.
I'll help.
And, like, all you niggas for some reason have disappeared. That's cool. That's fine.
And
now, if you listening and you feel a certain type of way and everything like that, my DMs are open. Like, my DMs are open only for the smoke. My Twitter's available for the smoke. I'm sorry. Like, it's just because, like, I don't like to cause trouble, but there's, like, I have a big thing where I feel like I can't let go of shit that, like, I feel like someone got something over me. I can't do it.
What's
I can't
that
do
saying?
it.
Like, I don't start shit, but I will finish it?
I will absolutely finish it. Yeah. And I feel like if you feel still a certain type of way about me, or you feel like there's something where you need to get something off your chest, I'm more than willing to listen. Everyone knows that. Yeah. I'm here, buddy. Like, but...
Also, if you think I'm your friend, and we probably are, whatever, don't talk shit about my friends. Like, because you think... I don't know. What?
Again,
it's like let me start talking shit about your brother, like, because I think we're so connected. I'm like, no, like, what the, you don't think that's so dumb to do? Like,
but again, I don't know who raised people, because I'm like, that's why I'm like, when you tell me these things, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, do they realize that I've known you longer than they've probably been alive?
No, probably not.
Like,
I don't think people think that way. People don't like take that next step to think about something further than what they already know. Because they're like, oh, we get along so well. Like, this must be, like, the only person that blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude. Like, I get along with people so well because I've had friends for, like, same friend. Yeah, forever. Like, 27 plus years, you know? Easy. So it's like, yeah, when I talk to people, I know how to, like, make it seem like I get to more. I guess that's what it is.
I was about to say, I think we're, like, a lot of people's best friends and we don't know it.
Maybe, yeah. And I think that's because the energy we bring is because it's the same energy we bring to each other, right? Yeah. So these other people aren't used to... Right. They're used to, like, the casual, like,
oh, hey, what's up, whatever. And it's like, oh, yeah, you can come if you want.
The weather, right?
Like, oh, yeah, just come if you can. But they think that you're not going to come, but then me and you show up.
Yeah, and it's like we bring this energy. Like, we're just having fun and shit like that. But maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Moral of the story is, I mean, shit. Y'all
Dave Chappelle didn't start this shit. We started this shit. He owes us some fucking money for that special.
Y'all ain't got no bitches. I just want to make that clear. Man. Like, nah, but yeah.
It's funny how we started talking about masturbation and shit like that, and we're just fucking stroking ourselves off.
Our ego, man. We're awesome out here. We are awesome.
All planned, right?
No, but